started it.
Oh, we're keeping that in. Okay. I bullied him and let me have another Drytron deck profile because he needs views. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, we got it. We have Amber Factor in the paint. Just sneak peek of the side. The rest is almost chicken noodle soup. We're playing different build this time. So again, we have the chicken noodle soup, which is 3 alpha, 3 zeta, and 3 delta, and then 2 gamma. Because searches rituals, searches the ritual spell, draws 1, summons another from grave. So all of these are important because any 2 differing names is pretty much full combo, which is hilarious, especially if you get a great draw with delta. Alpha Zeta is the best 2 combo in the game. It literally nets you any ritual combo you want. Especially including, meaning you can skip your opponent's turn with it. Which I just find it hilarious. Then we have, I max rated the stuff, so I have the 3 CRs that I need. Of 2 Meteonis and a Draconids. This cost me about like, altogether almost $100. If not more than 100. But I played 2, most people were playing 1 and then Choju came out. I was always on 2 because I like having another searchable one, and so I always have 1 in rotation. And then you play him because he's a big beat stick, and he's also, you use ritual spell with him and say like, any ritual, you immediately get that ritual out without needing to clear any of your board or detach from Mu Beta. So it makes life a lot easier just having him. Then we have the rest of the Drytron spells, which are 2 Nova, 2 of the field spell, which most people only play 1 and they play 3 Nova. I play 2 and 2. I can afford a 3rd Nova. It's just I like this more because that means I can draw a Nova and then I can see this and grab the other ritual spell if I don't have Zeta. And then we have our next Drytron spells because we do have 3 more Drytron spells. A playset of Cyber Emergency. This is not a Cyber Dragon card. This was made for Drytron because it says light machine that cannot be normal summoned or set. Oh, but I could also search Cyber Dragon if I wanted.
I mean, that'd be pretty funny. You're in a super heavy format.
Yeah, I could, but then I couldn't summon anything else, sadly. Because Cyber Dragon can be normal summoned or set.
You don't need to. They don't have follow-up. Easy.
Real. Onto the Cyber Angel package, which is mandatory. We have 3 Ben 10, a Natasha, and we also have, well, Ben 10 obviously searched any light fairy in the game, and then Natasha, which is 4 arms. Because Parker made the joke, tribute Ben 10, what are you gonna search, 4 arms? I was like, no, and I just searched this because Natasha does have 4 arms. This is hilarious. Then we have the main reason why Drytron is hilarious this format. Magician of Black Chaos Max. He dodges Imperm using his effect because he turns off your opponent's monster effect. But yeah, Magician of Black Chaos Max skips the opponent's turn by turning off their monster effects, which you could do with Amber Factor Pain by just skipping their main phase 1. This skips their monster effects, so you can even do it on your turn if you open it and Draconids, so they can't nib you or joel you or anything. They have to open like, Imperm, and that barely harms the deck. But I just find this so funny because it's on special summon. He skips monster effects by distributing, so you can tribute him for cost. Your opponent can't imperm it. They have to open something like DD Crow. This actually got Shark Cannon at locals, so I couldn't use the effect, but I still won because it was Striker against Drytron. They can't win. But yeah, this card is insane. It also has a spell recovery effect that I have not used yet. We are on 2 Orange Light because since it came back to 2 and it's very searchable, why not run it? This is the only hand trap in the deck because A, it's searchable, and B, we're on so many fairies, which another light fairy we have is Choju because he searches, and it's a mandatory, you must search both. You can't search one. But it searches a ritual spell and a ritual monster, which I find, which is amazing, and it's level 6, so you can go into Beatrice with it. We are main decking 3 Kurikara, so we can go first or second. The reason we're main decking it is because it's a fairy, so we can use it with Orange Light too. But this is 1v games just by forcing my opponent to activate their effects. I out it with this, and since it's level 1, you can make Mu Beta with it. And just go off from there. Onto the spells, we don't main deck any traps. We are on 2 Preparation of Rites. For obvious reasons, it searches any level 7 or lower ritual. And if you have a ritual spell engrave, it adds that back. So We get to recycle resources. This is the best top deck in the game for Drytron. Another good contender is Foolish, because it just sets up a grave. I have actually Foolish a Benton and use Natasha's effect to steal a monster. Obvious Called By because we need it. It's Called By. You have to play it in Drytron, otherwise you insta-die to Droll. Since this is a going first or second build, we are on 2 Forbidden Droplet and 2 triple Ts. Because Droplet, you can send majority of your hand, and if you have like 2 Benton in hand, you just win the game. Because you send whatever you drew, or if you're activating Nova and your opponent's trying to get it, you chain this, send the Nova, and like send 2 Drytron names, you can get rid of 3 things, and if you have 2 Bentons in hand, you just win the game at that point. The triple Ts are if we get drolled, we can look at the opponent's hand and weaken their board, and weaken if they have any hand traps, we can spin them back to back. Or if they just Ash something, we can draw 2, which is amazing. Oh, it also helps break boards by taking monsters. It's just triple T. Onto the extra, we have more chicken noodle soup in the form of 3 Mu Beta. I played 3 way before Diablosis was ever an issue card, mainly because my combo used to involve going into 2 of them on turn 0, but now I only need to go into 1, and I keep the other 2 just in case. Because going into the next one on the opponent's turn, like say they impermit or they negate its effects, just go into a 3rd.
That's his way of saying that he didn't know what else to put in his extra deck. So he
oh no, there's a bunch of good cards I can put in it, but I just like playing the 3 because I have the 3. Then we have Beatrice, for the obvious reasons. It's a Foolish Burial in a deck that loves the grave. And we can hard make it with our level 6s. We also have Zeus, which, for, again, obvious reasons, we have Xyz monsters, so there's no reason why we're not going to play Zeus.
I don't like the way you put the secret Zeus down. I saw the corner flick. Ew.
Shut up, it's only $20 now. That's it for the Xyz, and the rest of the extra deck is Link monsters. We are on 2 Link 1s, Link Karibo and Relinquished Anima. Mainly because these are the best targets for Drytron cards. I know there's others, but this is so funny because it allows us to maybe sort of a turn, and this can just steal a Nib token. I've stolen, I think the biggest was like 6,000 Nib token, and I placed it in the zone he would point to, which is hilarious that I get to choose where it goes. The best new card for the deck is Dynamondo. This card does everything. It outs, what is it? It outs, there can only be 1, any floodgate that remains on the field, because it shuffles back on the opponent's turn. It's a quick effect tribute to target a virtual grave, either add it to hand or special summon it.
That guy's a Cyberse? I always thought he was a rock.
Nope, he's a Cyberse. So, if need be, we can use, under there can only be 1, we can have the Relinquished Anima go into this with a Light Fairy, and it's hilarious. But we do have 2 more Link 2s. Yeah, the first one being Mirage Lights, which we also go into with Dynamondo, so we can lock them out of monster effects during the draw phase. And then if they open a board breaker, we only have 1 monster on our field, and if they have, say, like Called By, we can negate it. It's hilarious. And our other Link 2 is obviously IP Masquerena, which is just a good card overall. It gives us another attribute to put in grave for access code later. We have 1 Link 3. Unicorn, it's always a fallback plan. If you're playing IP, you might as well play Unicorn. Especially since, again, the deck loves the grave, so we don't care about the discard cost. We are on 2 Link 4s, Appaloosa and Access Code.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know, that's right. You know, the deck that can fill the board with a bunch of monsters has Appaloosa and Access Code. That's crazy. Appaloosa being Appaloosa, we can get like 3 or 4 negates. Access Code being Access Code, we can get him up to like 53, and on top of Draconians being able to clear an entire board. Like, we have a game with just that. And then I lost to Chaos Angel because I locked someone out of monster effects. So we're on Underworld Goddess now. I do not like my opponent being able to have a Towers monster that I can't out through battle. So I played this now.
Skill issue.
I mean, I could have outed it if I had it.
You know Droplet outs Chaos Angel, right?
Does it?
Yeah.
And it's unaffected?
Only by monsters.
Oh shit, you're right, but I didn't draw Droplet, so it didn't matter.
Skill issue.
Yeah. That's the entire extra. Onto the side, which... Alright, starting with for the first card on the side, we have Refractor Pain. So I noticed that not every deck cares about its monster effects, but it will care about like having a continuous effect from the extra. This stops it. This stops Chaos Angel on summon. It's no longer unaffected because its effects are negated. So not only does this out it if it's already on the board, it skips our main phase 1, which can stop cards like Extravagance or any other card that says at the beginning of main phase 1. And it basically skips our battle phase, so regardless, we survive a turn. Anyway, on to the next card, we have Bandy's Ruler for very obvious reasons. It's a light fairy that is also a floodgate. Big surprise. The main reason I like Bandy's Ruler is it's honestly, it's just a part of your board.
Chris, I'm pretty sure everyone likes Bandy's Ruler that plays Drytron.
Yeah, we do. And then I have the weirdest ratio for the side. The rest of the side is hand traps. We got 2 Nib, it's Nib for obvious reasons, 2 Ash, 2 Imperm, 2 Ogre, 2 Droll, and triple Crossout because I hate hand traps. We're not even playing them for like to have the hand traps. We just absolutely hate hand traps like Droll and Ash, so that's why I'm on triple Crossout on the side. That's why we don't main deck any hand traps, because we want to see Crossout instead, so that way we can stop a potential Droll. Anyway, the reason I like Drytron is because its resource game is insane. Especially with Dynamondo now, we can just shuffle back rituals. So we have a pseudo infinite resource loop. We can loop resources for 2 turns. And also, we can just repeat our turn for no reason. But, what up? I was drawn to Drytron because of the big boss monster, Draconids. He can sweep the entire field. You can't target him with monster effects, and people often try and out him with monsters and they just can't, because either they can't beat over him, or they just can't target him. It's hilarious. And on top of that, he's a decent boss monster. He's a target 2, send 2. Yeah, that's it. Do you have enough time for your ad rolls, Parker?
I have more than enough.
Good.